A media empire up for grabs. Two corporate giants, Disney and Comcast, locked in a high stakes bidding war for 21st Century Fox. Billions of dollars, shareholder strategies, regulatory hurdles, and a game of legal chess that would reshape the entertainment industry forever. So let's straight away dive into this deal. Now imagine these four mega brands: Fox, Star, Sky, 20th Century Fox. All of them are huge studios in their own right. And if you can notice, all these four studios or channels can be merged either on the left side or on the right side, because both sides have similar types of shows or movies that they have produced. The acquisition that we're about to study was not just a huge business deal. It was an intense bidding war and a masterclass on acquisition law, antitrust issues, and a real-world scenario that any M&A lawyer would only dream of analyzing. Let's come to the first part, the open offer tug of war. In December 2017, Disney made the first move, offering $52.4 billion in stock to acquire 21st Century Fox's film and television assets, including iconic franchises like X-Men, Avatar, and The Simpsons. Having the X-Men merge with the Marvel Studios once again was a much awaited fan move, because X-Men were an original part of the Marvel comics as well. Most importantly, Disney's deal was a friendly deal. These $52.4 billion that were offered by Disney was approved by Fox's board. It was also an all-stock deal. That is, the shareholders of Fox would have been given certain shares of Disney instead of being paid out in cash. And this was all agreed upon, all was going well. Bob Iger, Disney's CEO at that time, was giving press statements praising Fox and looking forward to working with them as well.
Global in nature. So we're getting high quality content, we're getting global reach, we're getting access to new technologies, and we're also getting great talent. Whether you look at the price or whether you look at the regulatory side or whether you look at the complexity of integrating companies this size, that risk was well worth taking on because of the tremendous opportunity.
Just to sidetrack a bit, fun fact, the hit TV show Succession is also loosely based on Rupert Murdoch's life. Fox is one of the few right-leaning or Republican Party supporting media companies in the US. Republican Party is the party from which Donald Trump has been elected. Coming back to the story, do you think it would just be a normal acquisition deal where Disney comes, offers the money, and everything is gold? Well, in case you did, you thought wrong. Herein walks Comcast. The owner of everything you saw on the left-hand side was Comcast only. Comcast came in as an aggressive bidder that wasn't ready to back down. It countered with a higher bid than Disney. And most importantly, it was an all-cash bid of $65 billion in June 2018. A hostile takeover attempt? Absolutely yes. Comcast's bid was hostile because it bypassed Fox's board and appealed directly to the shareholders to sell them their shares. Okay, before moving ahead with what happened in the deal actually, why did the two companies take out their offer publicly and offered money or shares to shareholders? Why wasn't it done privately? It is because of the concept of open offers, or as they are known in the US, tender offers. When one company wants to acquire shares of another company to provide the minority shareholders an exit opportunity so that they don't face any disadvantages of the transaction in case the deal does not go through or the price is lower, etc., the acquirer gives an offer to these shareholders stating that you can tender or sell your shares to us, the acquirer, at this particular price. How is that price determined? When is that obligation triggered? You can tune into the live lectures or go through the reading materials to find that out. So we'll deal with that later. Coming back to the deal. After the Comcast bid, Disney raised its bid to $71.3 billion. In this particular deal, it was a mix of cash and stock. So the shareholders of Fox would have been given some amount of cash and some amount of Disney stock. This forced Comcast to reconsider, and the offer was too tough to beat for Comcast. But at least they made their competitor bleed a bit by making them purchase the assets of Fox at a higher price. And eventually, Comcast bid for the Sky network and acquired them for around $35 billion. And that was it. After months of legal maneuvering, Disney emerged victorious, finalizing the acquisition at $71.3 billion in March 2019. However, even after winning the bidding war, Disney simply couldn't walk away with 21st Century Fox. There was one last legal challenge: the US antitrust law. If Disney acquired Fox's assets, it would become too powerful in the entertainment space. US regulators, specifically the Department of Justice, India's parallel would be the Competition Commission, the DOJ needed to review the deal for monopolistic concerns under the Clayton Act, India's parallel being the Competition Act. The biggest issue appeared to be Fox's 22 regional sports networks. If Disney, which already owned ESPN, which all of us have seen in our childhoods as well, it would control an unfair market share in sports broadcasting. So how did the lawyers handle this? Disney's legal team negotiated with the Department of Justice and agreed to divest the sports networks to secure approval from them. Regulatory lawyers structured the divestiture or divestment of these sports networks to ensure that Disney could still benefit from the overall deal without violating the antitrust laws. These networks were sold for about $10 billion after the deal was approved. And this is how Disney eventually acquired Fox, and we are able to see Deadpool and Wolverine in the same universe as the Avengers.